Good evening, welcome to N2O Ventures. My name is Jeff. I'm going to talk to you tonight just to cover off a point that was raised by a guy called Helmut who asked about my Kreiga tank bag setup following another video I did on how I mounted that and why I did it that way, which I'll link to at the end of the video if you want to check that out. But he had the question around whether you could run a Scott's steering damper with the Kreiga tank bag converter and the US5 Drypack, which I run on this tank setup. So he sort of asked that question as whether the Scott's steering damper, which fits down into this gap here, would actually work. And unfortunately I kind of forgot about it after promising him I would measure that up and have a look, so I thought I'd better make a video, and apologies Helmut if it's too late for you, but hopefully that'll help someone else in the future. Basically I run the Kreiga bag and the tank converter backwards, so the cutout for the fuel cap is actually at the back here. I just fold the tank bag off by unclipping it off its main clips here to fill up with fuel, and I'm usually running some electronic and camera gear in here, so I've usually got the charging cables on one side, so folding it out of the way is nice and easy, versus trying to take the bag off to fill your tank up anyway. And I run it very loose, which you can see here, so invariably it sits back a little bit, and the US5 Drypack is not quite rectangular, it's a little bit smaller than the OS bases that are run on the back. What I find with the 5 is that when you're actually riding, it's a bit narrower, so you can actually get really forward on the bike when you're riding off-road and the rough stuff, and so you don't notice the tank bag as much. I've got another friend who rides with a OS6 pannier bag, and he tried it up the front but doesn't like it because he hits his legs on it a lot and it restricts his movement, which I find you don't with the US5 Drypack. But to cut a long story short, pretty much the way I run this, you could easily run Scott's steering damper, or probably most other steering dampers. You've got a clear line of sight down through here to the mounting point for the pin on the steering damper, and I've measured off a friend's bike. You've got, now I'll find a tape measure. I've got a roll, so that'll do. You've got about an easy, I'd say 40 mil, so just shy of a couple inches of clear space the way I run it, and with the Scott steering damper it's quite rounded anyway, so any movement would allow it to move freely even if it did gently touch the bag. So that's it, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, and apologies if this came too late for you Helmut, but hopefully it does help some others. And that's the bag I run on the front. It's not high, it doesn't get in the way of anything, it's nice and low profile, nice and skinny, holds enough. If you're a serial overpacker like me, there's a limited amount you can get into it, so you know, it's big enough for my purposes, good enough when you're off-road, and it keeps nice out of the way. I don't usually run this in here, it's a toolkit I just use to bulk it out. Pretty much I run a GoPro box like this full of stuff, and usually I have a couple of batteries charging down the side, and maybe a microfiber cloth to clean the GoPro, all my goggles in there as well. So I don't run a lot, maybe a little battery pack as well. That's about it, so I don't overfill it, but it's still enough to sort of see me through on a trip away with camera gear and things like that. So yeah, anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching.